mirror of what I see. You are love. You're a positive, motivating force within my life. If you ever feel the need to wonder why, let me know. Let me know. It's hard for me to understand. So many things have taken place before this love affair began. But if you feel more like I feel, confusion can give way to doubt. For there are times when I fall short. What I say, all about, you are love. You're a positive, motivating force within my life. Should you ever feel the need to wonder why, let me know. Let me know. Let me know.
Long as you got your eyes, got your drippy on them private jets, taking trips. Come back at 6, wake me and your child, and then won't lay today. Make me wonder who you might have been playing with. Makes me wonder who you think you're playing with. I'm gonna tell myself to keep playing this record back over and over again. Swear that you changed, but I noticed the end. I want you on the scene. Think you know your girl's so funny to me. That's why you think I left by one time. Got tired of your shit, you almost your mind. Long stay, call your name. They'll continue to try to play these games. Leave your family in the cold rain. And I don't think you'll ever change your ways. Cause my house is not a home where no one's there. So alone, no one's there. Should I move on since no one's here? You know what you got is good, that's why you refuse to let me walk out to life. You refuse to match up with my vibe. You keep wasting my time, you keep wasting my time. I want you on the scene. Think you know your girl's so funny to me. That's why you think I left by one time. Got tired of your shit, you almost lost your mind. Long stay, call your name. You'll continue to try to play these games. Leave your family in the cold rain. And I don't think you'll ever change your ways. Cause our house is not a home where no one's there. So alone, no one's there. Should I move on since no one's here? You know what you got is good, that's why you refuse to let me walk out to life. You refuse to match up with my vibe. You keep wasting my time, you keep wasting my time.
you wanna do me wrong. See, when I'm home, I'm all alone, and you are always gone. Boy, you know I really love you, I can't deny. I can't see how you could bring me to so many tears after all these years. See, my days are cold without you. My days, yeah. And my heart can't take no more. I can keep on moving. See, my days are cold without you. Without you. Without you. I keep on running back to you. I trusted you, I trusted you. So sad what love will make you do. All the things that we accept, be the things that we regret. So all of my ladies, hear me, come on, sing with me. See, when I get the strength to leave you, always tell me that you need me. And I'm weak cause I believe you, and I'm mad because I love you. So I stop and think that maybe you can learn to appreciate me. Then it all remains the same, that you ain't never gonna change, never gonna change, never gonna change. My days are cold, baby, and my heart can't take no more. No more, no more. See, my days are cold without you. And my heart can't take no more. No more.
Something about the way that you talk to me, even when you're not around, I feel you, boy. I feel you, boy. Tangled in your love and your energy. Perhaps it was the way that you smile. I see you, boy. Oh, I need you, boy. 'Cause I've been waiting my whole life to find someone like you. Find someone like you. Yeah, 'cause I've been beating my whole life to find someone like you. To find someone like you. Baby, I want this to last forever. Oh yeah. Baby, I want this. Can we make this last forever? Oh yes. Ooh, 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 ooh.
14 shining stars, big dip. Get a lot of hashtag gang in the city.
Hey y'all, good morning. Happy Thursday. I think. I'm sure. Y'all come on in, hit that like button for your girl. Thank y'all for joining. I appreciate it. I do. Anybody want to hit the link? The link is on the community wall on this channel and on the T channel. We're gonna get right into it, y'all. This is a continuation from yesterday's testimony, which I think was day 2. So we're gonna get through the rest of day 2. Day 2. Hold on now. Where is my Lord have mercy? I can't keep up. I don't know what I did with it, but hold on. So yeah, we're gonna finish yesterday's testimony, and then we're gonna get into today because they're live right now with day 3 testimony. Okay. So anybody got any questions about anything? Put it in the chat. I'll try my best to answer. Anybody want to hit the link? It's over there on the community wall. Please like the video. Please support the channel. Cash App, PayPal is pinned at the bottom. Okay, let's go, y'all. Let's get into it. Thank you, Riaz. I appreciate it. Hey, D True. I can't hear. Can you hear me, D True? Or are you on mute? Let me see. You on mute? Okay.
Sorry. Okay, I'm here.
Okay. Okay. I think it's silent right now, y'all.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. All
I
right.
can hear you.
As soon as I went to grab my monster and open it, you say something.
Put the monster down. Step away from the monster. Hey, Miss Carla. Come on in, y'all. Hey, Miss Reggie. Hey, V Renee. Fun, baby. I think they, let me see if I can fast forward it a little bit. Because I don't hear anything. And I don't know if it's, I think it's them, though. Let's see.
So, are they done trying to discredit his friends?
Okay, well, right now we're at, so you went up here late, yesterday. We are finishing up on yesterday's testimony, which was day 2.
Yeah,
And
but
then,
while I was sitting in the back
well,
for
actually,
a
I
half
don't,
hour, I
uh-huh.
was listening.
Well, you gonna stick to that story? Oh, this is my, it's on my end, y'all. Okay, hold on. You gonna stick to that story?
That story is what I'm sticking to.
Okay, well, it wasn't a half hour. I came back. I saw you sitting there. I tried to bring you up and you dropped. I don't know how long you was back there because I was multitasking. I apologize. Now you know how I be doing. But I don't think you was up there for no half an hour. I just don't. But you gonna run with that. Okay.
If you go look, I put eyes in the chat
Mm-hmm.
when it was like 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm. But no, I think with her, they tried to they tried to do a lot with her. She was up there for a long time, and
Yeah.
they are still trying to discredit his friends, and they still trying to, insinuate that he just did random hookups all the time with strangers. Which, honestly, I don't understand what they got to do with what happened with this guy.
Well, they're trying to discredit them because they keep saying no, he didn't. So they're trying
Hmm.
to discredit them by
Oh, so they're trying to discredit the friends so they can say,
yeah,
"Oh, yes, he did."
So you really didn't know him. He was somebody else's friend that you knew. So he wasn't really your friend. They're trying to discredit them as they well, you really didn't know him.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't hang around him that much. So they're trying to discredit them to give the jury a feel that well they really didn't know him.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna go with the testimony that he was doing this all the time with down low men.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they keep trying to discredit them, as they don't really know him.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Here we go, y'all. This is the end of day 2, which is yesterday's testimony.
All right, I appreciate your patience. In the long run, we'll shorten the process down a little bit for mark exhibits and such. I believe you have another question or two. Go ahead.
Captain, you've been on the stand a long time though, and I want to ask you something real quick. I don't want to leave the impression something left kind of great. We talked about Eli Davis and Isabel Teller. They live in, according to the report, correct me if I'm wrong, they live in apartment 22.
Isabel and Eli, yes, both live in apartment 22.
Yeah,
That's what I
and
have.
Cosart, did he live with them? They lived in 23.
Wait, this is a different building. Well,
So can I just read just quickly? My
Yeah.
understanding is that Isabel and Eli were engaged and they lived in apartment 22. That's what they represented. Fair enough.
yes,
And I thought that you testified that Kevin Covart lived in 22. Did he live in 22 or 23?
we went to another area to speak to him.
Okay,
I can't
different apartments.
honestly. Yes,
Yeah. 'Cause
we
I
not
thought
on
you
his
testified
door.
he lived in
I
22.
apologize.
They lived in 22, but they lived in separate apartments. Fair to say?
Separate, and maybe even separate buildings. I just know where I was at. I went to a different location.
And also Eli told you that Jennifer Buford was the professor that was overseeing the projects about the homework for Jay Lee that he referenced, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's what Eli told you, right?
Eli told me.
Thank you. That's all I had. And one more thing. They knew each other. They were associated through the LGBTQIA plus community. That's how they knew each other. They were allies. Eli and Isabel were allies for that community. And that's how they were associated with him. Fair
I
to
think
say?
that maybe knew how they knew of Jay Lee, and obviously they were friends on social media with
Yeah.
him by their statements.
Thank you.
You may speak away.
And we'll let you just start with Eli Davis, Eli and Isabel Teller.
Yes,
Said that they were, or I believe defense counsel said that they were engaged and living together.
yes,
Okay. And Eli and Isabel told you they didn't hang out with Jay Lee in person, didn't they?
right. They actually said they'd never seen him in that area before, and that they were friends on Facebook. That's what Eli said. And Isabel said she'd actually lived at those apartments for approximately 2 years, and she had never seen Jay Lee in that area before, and it was out of the ordinary for like Jay Lee not to be on social media.
And so they both confirmed to you that it would be unusual for Jay Lee to be in that area. Would that be correct?
Yes, they both said they'd never seen him in that area.
Something was brought up about Code Pink. What is Code Pink?
To my understanding, is like a show, like a drag queen show, where you have people perform.
So it was like a performance of drag queens.
Yes, that's to my understanding.
So it was like, it wasn't, I believe Kevin, did he tell you that he was a part of Code?
He told me like that Jay Lee participated in that lifestyle. So he, so obviously he had to about his male and presented as a female. So Kevin went into explaining.
Lifestyle, but Code Pink is a performance organization, right?
Yeah, it's like a show.
Okay,
That's how I
so
understand.
saying that Jay Lee participated
Hey,
in
Ramblin'.
Shows.
shows, like performances, dressed as a woman. Okay, so essentially, like on stage, like a drag queen.
Yes, I mean, I think even reviewing some of his social media back at that time, they were pictures of him
Okay.
on stage.
So I just want to be clear, Jay was participating in an organization that put on shows for like drag shows, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
and even Taylor, his sister,
Hey, guys.
mentioned that to me.
Hey, Miss Ann, I miss all y'all. Hey, Kimon, Miss Carla, y'all come on in. I apologize.
She mentioned her.
Yes, that it, okay. And are you at all familiar with like drag shows or anything like that, like personally?
Not enough to be well versed in it or to be able to explain it other than a performance.
Okay, yes. I just wanted to kind of outline, see if you had any personal experience or knowledge to that kind of performance. It's okay if you don't, but you're saying you don't. Okay. It was testified that some testimony was given about Jose. I'm going to show you a part of state's composite exhibit 6 that's previously been admitted into evidence. And while I'm looking for that, do you remember what date that y'all searched Jaylee's apartment?
I want to say it was the 10th. Let me see. Search warrant at Jaylee's room. Yes, on July 10th.
Okay. There's a pic earlier when we were testifying. I found, or you identified some items from Jaylee's apartment. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay. Trying to look for a particular one. Do you remember seeing a card?
There was a card in there
From
Jose.
Jose. May I approach the witness? And do you know when Ole Miss typically holds their graduation? Like what month?
May.
Okay. Could you please read that what's in exhibit, part of State's Exhibit 6?
My beautiful sister, you've done it, and I couldn't be prouder. You honestly are the epitome of dedication. You had your mind set on something and you accomplished it. I know firsthand how difficult it can be. I recall the phone calls and the text convoys. I knew it wasn't easy. It looks like baby maybe. But even through all the hardships, you powered through and earned that degree. I wish to have at least half of the determination and resilience that you have. And it says on the other side, maybe certainly that part is cut off. The next line, manifest it. Can't read the last of that and finessed it. I am forever proud of you, Jimmy, my sister always, and now you should be. The card actually says, it's
And
not
who is it signed
handwritten.
by?
Jose.
Jose Reyes?
Yes, that's the only Jose I know of.
And that person.
So what date did you say that was? I'm sorry.
The search warrant. I'm sorry.
Brief indulgence. I turn to the witness, John. Yes, Your Honor, I say.
You're free to go. Welcome to that. No one else. They're gonna not give me that option. All right, who's taking, everybody get over here? Who's taking all this next week?
Mark Hodges.
Mark who?
Hodges.
Somebody who's in charge.
And Your Honor, I wanted to take up a matter.
What now?
I want to take up a matter that may speed the process outside the presence of the jury. It's based on the certificates,
Based on what?
self-authenticating certificates.
I'm gonna buy y'all some tennis shoes and some roller skates or something. We may buy our gear on crutches. We may just get here some earbuds from stage so you can't hear that. It'll be way easier on us.
Good morning, Matt.
Your Honor, those that are marked, I believe that's exhibit 11, S11,
S12.
S12. The one on the very top
Is it, let me ask you this, is that composite? Okay, yeah, go ahead.
positive exhibit, so they need to stay in order. But the very first one goes with we've had testimony that the car was towed from the UPD officer provided testimony that the car was towed by bandit towing approximately 1:50 in the afternoon on July the 8th. And those are the business records of what they do. And that was, there's an accompanying certificate on the very top of exhibit 12.
Exhibit what?
12.
I got one here from Bandit Towing, signed by Michael E. Kent Jr.
Then the second page of exhibit 12 is going to be in reference to the video from Rainbow Corners that's S14.
Is a thumb drive of video.
Thumb drive of the video.
Okay. All right.
All right. We propose also the very next one.
Is this one that there was some dispute about when the y'all filed an objection to self-authentication, is that correct?
Yes, Judge. Judge,
I'll let you finish up here, but I just want to get in my head what we're arguing about anyway. Go ahead, go ahead and make him up. Let him make his the other exhibit so I can do them all at the same time, but I want y'all to be getting y'all ducks in a row while he was talking anyway.
got 5 certificates.
I'm up to Molly Express anyway.
Third certificate is in regard to S16, which is video from, it's called Molly Express. It's what we've been referring to as rockets.
Okay.
Which one is that one?
The rockets.
You put it. Hang on one second here. You got a sticker on 13. Did you pre-mark 14 and 15?
I left it out. That's going to be.
Neither the stickers may be on the
Right.
drives themselves, not the envelope. Okay, all right.
15 is a still shot LED surveillance camera at Rebel and Jackson. I don't have a certificate on it. It is a university camera. And Ben Douglas is going to testify after Mark Hodges. He can authenticate it if Mark can't authenticate it. But it does not have a certificate from UPD since it was.
What we got right now is this information from Bandit Towing, Rebel Rainbow Cleaners, Molly Express, AKA Rocket. What else you got?
CB Webb is going to be still shot from a video surveillance camera from it's a apartment complex on the other side of Rockets gas station. It's government owned, and it has the timestamp that you can compare to the Rockets video, the timing of it when it was taken. And I believe that should be all.
We got CB Webb, you got a Bluff West Marley Bar Trail certificate here.
All right. That's going to be the video from Molly Bar Trails from where you see the J. Lee car enter Molly Bar Trail parking lot. You see individual that can identify.
Somebody leaving there anyway.
Right. So that matches up with the timing of the video already. Because I heard Tim Harrington up.
All right, let me, I'm gonna, if you want me to put all this together here anyway. All right. I'm gonna give it all back to you anyway.
Okay.
All right.
Now there's
Tell me what's been done as far as,
and just for the court's information, the last exhibit, Marker ID, is a map that shows the videos when they were taken in route and in sequential order.
All right, that's 19.
And I would point out that Keziah Carter has already provided testimony that after he picked Tim Harrington up at Rocket's gas station, that he took him to Lafette Place.
You tell me what previously the state has filed as far as notice or motion for self-authentication.
We did file that notice. This case was sealed by the court. We did not receive notification that there was any objection to anything by the defense to our notices until we showed up for hearing in Tippecanoe.
A week ago, Monday was a week ago.
And so even though there was a certificate of service on the back of that, the objections, we were not aware of that. Had we been aware of it, that had been filed on the date it was filed, we could have been put on notice to have all these people here locally to come in and testify about the surveillance videos. Rather than do that, to streamline the process, that's why we wanted to provide this notice to them and have that heard prior to being here in trial and do it in a more.
Now, let me ask you this. This state's exhibit 19, there's time reflected on that. Start 7:18, 7:21, 7:23, 7:23, and 7:34, 7:25, and 7:34. Are those time stamps on the video that you're providing?
With the exception of the Molly Bar Trails video. That video, Mark Hodges can explain how he came up with the time. The time difference was wrong.
I want to make sure that's clear. Mark Hodges actually went to Molly Bar Trails apartments and downloaded that video himself and like from the system and corrected the time the way law enforcement officers do. So that's why the timestamp of Molly Bar Trails video will be different, but it's because Mark, he actually can authenticate that himself.
The times.
We may deal with that one separately, but
Understood.
all right. Anything else the state wishes to talk about on the authentications of these? I believe all of them are. There was, the first one was something from the tow company. Is that a video as well? Or was it?
It's a receipt and photos that they took before they took the car.
All right.
I can't hear what you said.
He said that was a receipt and photos before they took the car, not a video, but some receipt for the car, towed the car, and made pictures of the car. Yeah, the bandit, yeah. All right. Anything else the state wishes to offer before I turn to defense and listen to them anyway? All right, I'll listen to you.
Thank you, Judge. Judge, I think that the first and most important thing to consider here is the procedure for certifying records of the regular conducted activity as the self-authenticating documents and the procedures in which that's done. Once the state files their notice of their intent, which they did on November 5th, they filed their notice of intent to have these specific list of documents be admitted as authenticated through that particular notice. Defense then, and Judge, for the record, that was filed under seal. I've got a copy with the filed stamp without an MEC heading. That was filed under seal, like the majority of the documents in this case filed by the state. We have not received copies of the majority of the subpoenas. Other items, we've had to go and get those copies from ourselves from the clerk's office. Once we notice a gap in MEC filings that, hey, I see a document 70 and a document 80, where are the 10 in between? We've had to go and get those. Once that notice is filed, we've got 15 days in which to object. Otherwise, they're.
Let me just say that if I work under the assumption that you filed an objection within the time period, tell me what the ramifications of that are.
Well, Judge, the requirement then is.
Just for a minute, let's forget about whether there's any dispute about when he filed it, when y'all answered it, who got notice. Let's just assume.
Well, I'll just represent, we did file within the proper time period.
All right, so let's just move on to, they filed a notice. You filed an objection there too. What's the score after that?
So then, Judge, after that, the requirement is, it's not a suggestion, it's a requirement under Rule 902D that the proponent must schedule a hearing on any objection, and the court can determine admissibility on the record before the trial or hearing at which it may be offered. If the court cannot do so, the record is not self-authenticating under this paragraph 11. Judge, this could have been, we could have had this hearing and addressed this issue up until the start of this trial, but because that did not happen, clear language of that rule is that these documents cannot be admitted as self-authenticating.
we talked about this issue sometime prior. I don't know if the court made a ruling at that time or what we did, but I know we have addressed the issue before. Somebody will have to refresh my memory on what.
Judge, if I apologize. When the state indicated to us that they had not gotten notice of it on the 25th, we immediately provided them a physical copy at that time. We had some informal discussions in chambers at that time, but the requirement's clear. They must schedule a hearing. Schedule a date. There's been no hearing noticed, and aside from informal discussion, and to bring it for the first time on the second day of live testimony, this has not been addressed. Had this been at least addressed and scheduled, we could have had a hearing on this prior to impaneling the jury, and we could have had this issue, and they would have had whatever arguments they wanted to make. But it's clear under the rule that because they did not schedule a hearing, these documents cannot be self-authenticated.
Let's do that to the state.
I was at that prior hearing.
If you weren't there, I'm gonna have Mr. Creekmore to address this issue anyway.
We did switch if you remember, we had that hearing set on Tuesday, when she was scheduled to be there. We moved it to Monday based on the agreed order on the issue that we had on the expert witness on the documents.
There was a question about the admissibility of the search dog set for Monday of last week, and the issue of search warrant suppressions were set for Tuesday of last week. The search dog issue was resolved, and we brought motions before the court on Monday of last week.
For the benefit of Judge Aikens.
I don't know if the motion for, I don't know if there was a notice of hearing on the issue of on these exhibits, the self-authentications or not. I'll let somebody address that in a second. I don't know if it was noticed for hearing at that time, but I know it was discussed at that time. I don't remember if it's on the record or off the record. We discussed the issue of the self-authentication documents. Would have been Monday of last week. I don't get me lying whether it's on the record or in chambers. We had discussed those issues Monday of last week.
Now, if the court would permit, Gwen has a procedural argument. Procedural.
Okay, procedural, I'll let her talk. I'll let you talk about procedure. I'm gonna let these folks from there talk about the facts anyway.
I'm gonna talk about the facts. It's just my understanding of what Mr. Daniel said.
But that I think I have memory pretty good on the timeline of what happened anyway. Okay.
Your Honor, my understanding from reading Rule 902.11 is not that it says that the record shall per se be excluded. My understanding from reading it says that you have to file the notice, state specifically in writing if you have an objection, serve it within 15 days or later time if the parties agree, and then it says the proponent must schedule a hearing on any objection, and the court should determine the admissibility. It says if the court cannot do so, like if the court cannot determine the admissibility, the record is not necessarily self-authenticating. That doesn't mean that's just if the court cannot determine the admissibility. You can still determine the admissibility now.
I'll give you the last bite here. Go ahead.
I think perhaps the argument was misunderstood. I'm not saying that the items cannot be admitted. I'm saying they cannot be admitted as self-authenticating. The rule clearly says, and I'd like to read a little bit of the footnote from section 11. Subparagraph B provides that if objections are not decided before the trial, the proponent must plan to call the witness.
What was the objection?
The objection was to the custodial, the person they were saying was to be the custodian of these records for the purpose of their admissibility. The objection was not based on admissibility, it was based on the custodial nature of it.
In particular, when you filed your objection, what did your objection say?
Judge, it was a lengthy list of objections, and I believe she's getting you a copy. But it still boils down to the fact that that when self-authenticating records are offered against the defendant in criminal cases, the rights of the defendant under confrontation clauses of both federal and state constitutions must be considered. And the rule's clear, Judge. I'm not saying that they can't have these records be admitted. I'm saying they must call the proper witness to do so.
I understand that.
And Judge, the only discussion that we had in chambers, which I'm going to represent to you, was off the record, was about potential records that may not need, custody may not be an issue. We only discussed those as related to Ryan Baker and Mike Burks. But regardless, by virtue of the filings in the procedure and the lack of a scheduled hearing, they must now call these witnesses.
I'm not, we were in Ripley last Monday. I said, I've been reminded here that the discussion about this was in chambers. I said I would address this matter when the time came. I also offered to be available Wednesday for any hearings anybody might want, or Friday for anybody might want. I'm not addressing all of the items that are asked to be self-authenticated. I'm dealing with these that have been presented to the court today, and the timelines that I've already heard testimony on, the timelines on the videos that are in the subject of those videos. The court's going to find that they're sufficient indicative of reliability that I'm going to allow those. If there's otherwise supporting evidence and a proper foundation is laid, I am going to allow those to be introduced as self-authenticating. I noticed on the list that there are other videos from other jurisdictions that we don't have a time frame to reference to. We don't have the testimony. I picked somebody up when I got off work at this time, and my car went down this road, and this how far it was. I'm not ruling on those. But these particular items, I'm going to, when we have a point of reference of when something happened and when something else happened, I'm going to allow those to be introduced if they're otherwise admissible without the necessity of someone to authenticate those records. I'm not saying the same thing about, I noticed weighed equipment somewhere, some other location in some other towns where we don't have a point of reference on time. But and I will give you a hearing, a separate hearing when sometime when the jury's not there waiting to decide if those will be. But as to these particular items that has proposed to be self-authenticating, I think there's sufficient indicative of timing and reliability to permit those into without a further hearing. But this room just extends to these that's been presented to the court.
All those exhibits.
These videos that say at 7:18 this car passed, I assume that's what they're going to be. At 7:25 and 7:32, a short time window. I'm not just the ones that we've talked about so far.
The UPD, it's clear. UPD records, they don't need an authentic certificate to get those in.
But when we've
As far as the rainbow cleaners, we've had no testimony about that.
But I'm working on the assumption, and from the map they showed, this appears to be videos along the route that Mr. Fears, I believe, got the guy that picked up the card. These appear to be a tracking of that vehicle.
Wrong.
Okay, if that's not the case,
It's tracking of Jay Lee's vehicle.
the Jay Lee's vehicle.
The judge, the issue is we haven't had testimony to establish they've even gotten to to turn the apartment yet, because I believe, although I haven't seen that map, it'll be the alleged vehicle leaving Timmy Harrigan's apartment to Molly Bar Trails. We haven't gotten that far in this trial yard. That's the point.
What it does is they do it backwards. We've got testimony in, Your Honor, of bandit towing at Molly Bar Trails. That's where they begin. And Mark Hodges goes out and he can authenticate that video that he collects and authenticate the timing of it. And then he begins to backtrack it, that vehicle to the Rockets Express gas station, probably within 10 minutes of the Keziah Carter video.
That's if you can authenticate the first one, the video of it there at the apartment, come back, and these TAMs seem to be matching up. I'm going to give you an opportunity to put on those first, and if the proof is satisfactory about where the starting point is, I'll let you have that short range. If the testimony of a vehicle 3 hours later in Grenada, Mississippi, I'm not stretching that far anyway.
I want to be clear for the record that we're going to.
I'm gonna hear what this witness has to say, but if the witness can give us a good starting point, then I'll go from there. If the witness can't give us a good starting point, then we won't anyway.
Okay,
If the witness can give us a good starting point, this whole time frame is just a few minutes in length there anyway. If we can get a good starting point, and those are consistent time frames, I'll let them. All right, go ahead. All right, I think we're gonna have a little break here anyway. Dana needs, and probably wouldn't hurt for us all to get one.
I'm got them in order. I've got them in order. I'll let you look at them in just.
It ain't gonna be long.
Don't touch them.
We'll get back on the record. I'll say, I know they got notice. Where we start? All right, come here, Ian. Oh, and we need to quit 5 today. We got something we got to take care of with the jury, so we need to quit at 5 today. Is that right, Ricky? Yeah. We quit. So even if you're in mid-sentence, we're still gonna quit at 5, okay? All right, everybody back. Who'd you call his next witness?
They were called Mark Hodges.
Mr. Hodges. Seat there. All right, you may proceed.
Tell us who you are and what you do.
Mark Hodges, I'm the Lieutenant of Investigations for the Oxford Police Department Criminal Investigations Division.
Okay. And how long have you been an investigator with OPD?
With OPD, 6 years roughly.
Okay. Prior to that,
Prior to that, 2 additional years,
whereabouts?
Greenville, Mississippi.
All right. So in July of 2022, were you an investigator with the Oxford Police Department?
Yes,
We've had testimony whereabouts of Jay Lee beginning on July the 8th of 2022. Were you aware of that?
I became aware, I believe, around the 11th.
Were you made known any information about Jay Lee's car?
Yes,
All right. What was that information that was relayed to you?
that Bandit Towing had towed it from Molly Trails Apartments.
Did you receive information from Bandit Towing about them towing a car from Molly Bar Trails around 1:50 p.m. on July the 8th?
Detective Scott Hollowell did, yes, sir.
Well, you would have been made aware of that, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you find out what the car looked like based on that information?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you recall what kind of car it was?
It was a Ford Fusion.
I'm going to hand you what's been previously marked as private video. That's Exhibit S13. If you can look at that exhibit. Yeah. S13. We'll just review that exhibit, look at all photos, see if you recognize it.
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize it?
Yes, sir.
All right. And the vehicle, were you able to identify who that vehicle belonged to?
Yes, sir. That was Jay Lee's vehicle.
All right. And even on the tag, it had Jay Lee on the back of it?
Yes, sir.
Was the car distinctive?
Yes, sir.
Why was it distinctive?
It has a gold, I guess what you'd call a racing stripe down the front, the hood.
All right. Now, are you familiar with those types of documents that would have been collected or gathered by OPD from Bandit Towing?
The
Type of documents?
tow receipt.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And the photo is also attached to that towing receipt. Is that, in your experience, common for the towing company to do that?
Yes, sir.
Just in the regular course of business?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, at this time, I would ask that this exhibit be received into evidence.
I will note objections to state, okay, I'll continue objection. I'll note those and, but I will admit it in evidence. All right, 13 will be admitted.
All right. If you could hand it to the reporter. Are you familiar with the layout and parking area of Molly Bar Trails apartment? Okay. Can you describe that for the jury?
It's a one-way in, one-way out apartment complex. When you go in, it makes a circle.
So the entrance is the exit?
Yes, sir.
No other entry, no other exit?
No, sir.
All right. Now, are you familiar with the surrounding area for Molly Bar Trails?
Yes, sir.
All right. Can you describe that for the jury?
It's Molly Bar Road. If you were to take a right out of the apartment, leaving the apartment complex, you would run to a three-way stop right there. It's Molly Bar and McElroy. Right there at that corner is the convenience store that they've called Rockets.
Okay. And behind that, are there any trails or walking areas? What's behind Molly Bar Trail apartment complex?
The woods and the airport.
Okay. Do you know, if you do, let the jury know, is that airport fenced?
Yes.
Okay. Now, was it significant to you that Jay Lee's car was found there? And what did you do when you learned that information?
When we learned that Bandit Towing towed the vehicle from that location, they give us a starting point to start working backwards to try to figure out where the car had been.
Okay.
So I went to Molly Bar Trails and spoke with the management, asked them if it was possible for me to review the camera footage, download it. They agreed, showed me where the server room was. I went in there and downloaded the footage.
Did you find the footage of Jay Lee's car entering into the complex?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now then, let me back up just a little bit. Do you know what area of the parking lot Jay Lee's car was found in by Bandit Towing?
By Bandit Towing? Yes, sir. Pretty much. I believe it's got a number on the ground.
Okay. Do you know what that number is? Is it listed on that exhibit?
It's 43.
All right, so you went to the management at Molly Bar Trails and looked through video surveillance. Were you able to secure that footage?
Yes, sir.
All right, have you reviewed that footage?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to hand you,
Your Honor, I think the court understands our objection on grounds of relevance to this time. It's probably conditional, but this time procedure, I think we need to object on grounds of relevance.
I'm going to note your record and overrule your objection.
thank you. Hand you, exhibit. Do you recognize that?
Yes, sir.
Look, if you don't mind, look at the contents of that envelope and see if there's a junk drive.
Yes, sir.
All right, it's got an exhibit sticker on it.
Yes, sir.
What's that exhibit sticker?
S18.
That's 18 for identification. Have you reviewed the contents of that?
Yes, sir.
How do you know?
Because I watched it.
All right, and what you do after you review?
Put it in an envelope.
Okay, and did you put your initials and date?
Yes, sir.
All right, so you reviewed the contents.
Yes, sir.
Does it accurately depict the footage that you obtained from Molly Bar Trails Apartments
Yes, sir.
with Jay Lee's car?
Yes, sir.
I would say, would ask that exhibit 18 be received.
I'll note the objection of the defense, but I will admit it anyway. The objection has been duly noted.
All right. And then from the time that you identified Jay Lee's car on that video, what did you do next as far as trying to find any other footage of that movements of that vehicle?
We started working back securing video.
Okay. Did you find any other videos?
Yes, sir. We found videos and photos.
All right. What was the next video closest to Molly Bar Trails that you found?
It's okay for me to check my notes.
Sure. Is that okay, Your Honor? All right.
Next thing would be a photo from CD Webb.
What is CB Webb?
It's a housing complex. It is right across from Rockets.
All right. Is that on Molly Bar Road?
Yes.
Okay. Did you find anything from CB Webb surveillance camera?
Yes, sir. We were able to obtain a photo of Jay Lee's car coming by.
Angie, what's been marked as exhibit 17?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize the image depicted in that photo?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
That is a photo of Jay Lee's car.
All right. If you don't mind, set that exhibit aside for right now. That image is depicted in that image is also Rocket's business.
Yes, sir.
Convenience store, gas station, correct?
Correct.
All right. Were you able to get or secure footage of Jay Lee's car from Rockets as
Yes,
well?
sir.
All right, I'm going to hand you mark for ID as exhibit 16. If you don't mind looking in that envelope, can you identify the contents?
Yes, sir.
What is that and how can you identify it?
That is a thumb drive containing the video from Rockets. Inside the thumb drive is labeled S16.
All right.
On the envelope, it has my initials and the date.
And have you reviewed that footage?
Yes, sir.
All right. Does it accurately depict what you observed when that footage was obtained by law enforcement?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now then, Your Honor, I would ask that exhibit 16 be received into evidence.
16 is the rocket.
Yes, sir.
With having noted any other objection other than that that's been previously. All right, and that can be noted, and I'm going to admit it.
All right. Now then,
It will be admitted.
thank you, Your Honor. Okay. Did you compare the the timestamp on Exhibit 16 to the timestamp on what's been marked for ID in Exhibit 17, the CD web? And did you make any observations about the time?
Pretty much correct.
What do you mean by that? How were you able to determine that they were correct?
They're time stamped.
So the timestamp in Exhibit 16 and 17, what did that tell you?
Not understanding.
Permission to publish Exhibit 16.
You may do so.
William. Can we talk to the judge while they're doing it? Can I talk?
I know it. It's all right.
Yes, sir.
July 8th, 2022, 7:23
Yes, sir.
Was that timestamp consistent or similar to the timestamp from the CD web Exhibit 17?
Yes, sir.
All right. And what was that timestamp on? Well, Your Honor, at this time, the state would ask that Exhibit 17 be received into evidence.
Holding the defense continuing the action will be admitted.
All right. Now then,
Let her stamp it. Go ahead.
so you've got that timestamp of Jay Lee's car from CD web and Rockets. Where did you go after that?
After Rockets, we went, we got a photograph from Jackson and Rebel,
All right, and where did that surveillance video come from?
UPD.
All right, we've already had testimony that their UPD and Ole Miss have cameras. Is that from an Ole Miss UPD camera?
Yes, sir.
All right. What is Rebel and Jackson Avenue? Where's that located?
It's in the city of Oxford.
All right. Where's Jackson Avenue from where we are in the courthouse?
Jackson Avenue. Let me see. We got myself turned around up in here.
That's North Lamar and that's South Lamar. Where's Jackson Avenue?
Jackson Avenue is the road going this way.
Going that way? And if you were going to go on Jackson Avenue to Rebel Drive, where would you go?
Go that way.
And if you were to turn left on Rebel Drive, would you be on campus?
Be on the University of Mississippi campus.
All right. Your Honor, at this time, the state, well, hand you Exhibit 15. You recognize that exhibit?
Yes, sir.
2 pages?
Sir?
2 pages?
Yes, sir.
Does that accurately depict images taken from that surveillance camera at Rebel and Jackson Avenue?
Yes, sir.
All right. Your Honor, at this time, the state would ask that this be received as the 18?
15.
15.
15. Jackson Christian, made by the defense, we know it will be admitted into evidence.
All right. Now, from there, were you able to find any other video surveillance depicting Jay Lee's car in the same general time frame?
Yes, sir.
Where was that?
Rainbow Cleaners.
What is Rainbow Cleaners and where is it?
It's a laundry cleaning service. It's on Jackson Avenue.
I'm going to hand you what's been previously marked as Exhibit 12. Do you recognize that? If so, how?
Yes, sir. I recognize it because it's got my initials and the date on it.
All right. Have you reviewed the contents contained on that jump drive?
Yes, sir.
And what does that depict?
Was it what?
Depict?
It's the Rainbow Cleaners video.
All right. Does it accurately depict Jay Lee's car?
Yes, sir.
Driving? Okay. Does it also have the timestamp consistent or similar to these other videos?
Yes, sir.
All right. Your Honor, at this time, the state would ask that this be received as the state's next exhibit.
Marked yet?
Yes, sir.
What number marked that?
14.
14. All right. Come on, wait.
Hey, Candy Corn.
And where is it?
It's a laundry cleaning service. It's on Jackson Avenue.
I'm going to hand you what's been previously marked as Exhibit 12. Do you recognize that? If so, how?
Yes, sir. I recognize it because it's got my initials and the date on it.
All right. Have you reviewed the contents contained on that jump drive?
Yes, sir.
And what does that depict?
Was it what?
Depict?
It's the Rainbow Cleaners video.
All right. Does it accurately depict Jay Lee's car?
Yes, sir.
Driving? Okay. Does it also have the timestamp consistent or similar to these other videos?
Yes, sir.
All right. Your Honor, at this time, the state would ask that this be received as the state's next exhibit.
Marked yet?
Yes, sir.
What number marked that?
14.
14. All right. Come on, wait. With additional objection noted, I'm going to admit 14 Rainbow Cleaner video into evidence.
All right. I'm going to hand you what's been marked Friday as Exhibit 19. You recognize that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now then, were you able to find any other videos, video surveillance in Oxford within that time frame regarding Jay Lee's vehicle?
No, sir.
All right. Now, you started at Molly Bar Trails because that's where the tow company picked up his car on July the 8th at 1:50 p.m., correct?
Yes, sir.
And then from there, you work backwards. So the first video sequentially that you see is that Rainbow Cleaners video, correct?
Correct.
All right. Permission to publish that to the jury?
Let me ask you this. Well, that's been admitted. You may publish it. That's for you.
It's not- Do you have the exact time frame queued up when you observed Jay Lee's car?
It should be 7:53.
All right, first of all, just kind of orient the jury what roadway this is and where that camera is placed.
That is Jackson Avenue that you see right there, the roadway. The area with the lines that you see, the arrows, that is actually Rainbow Cleaners, the drive-through.
Now, can you tell the jury where that car, when you're going to see that car from this point in the video?
You will see it first from the right side of the screen.
Traveling toward the courthouse
Yes, sir.
on Jackson Avenue.
Yes, sir.
And will there be any other vehicles before they see the Jay Lee vehicle?
Yes, sir.
Can you describe?
I believe it's a white truck with a trailer.
Okay.
Right there. And that's Jay Lee's car.
Now then, from there, the next video camera sequentially is going to be the photo frame from UPD, correct?
Correct.
All right, what was the timestamp from Rainbow Cleaners?
It was 7/18/53.
7/18
Yes.
a.m.
Yes, sir.
All right. And, on that freeze frame. Permission to publish Exhibit 15. This is Rebel Jackson video camera from UPD.
I'm sorry, Judge. I'm sorry, Judge.
Well, stay there with us if you like.
Is that from the Rebel Jackson surveillance?
Yes, sir.
Now, was there a timestamp on that?
Yes, sir.
You don't mind? You got your glasses with you?
Yes, sir.
All right, where's that timestamp located?
The top left corner,
And what does it say?
that is going to be 7/21, I believe, 56.
Okay. Later in time from the Rainbow Cleaners?
Yes, sir.
Now then, here. Of course. Where, that's on Rebel Jackson. Where's that located in relation to Rainbow Cleaners?
It is going east.
Are there any stoplights in between there and Rebel, in between Rainbow Cleaners and Rebel Jackson Avenue?
Yes, sir.
All right. How many?
You have Fraternity Row, Country Club, and then Rebel and Jackson. Stoplights.
Is there a stoplight at Rebel and Jackson
Yes, sir.
and a turn signal at that Rebel Jackson intersection?
To turn on to Rebel.
All right. Now, the next video sequentially is going to be the Rockets video.
Yes, sir.
CD web. CD web.
CD web photo, yes, sir.
before we get there, on that second photo, second page of Exhibit 15, were you able to notice any distinctive features in that image?
Yes, sir.
What was that?
The racing stripe on the hood,
What about the rims?
the
Car
rim-
rims.
the rims on the car as well.
Now, Exhibit 17 is going to be from the CV web video camera, surveillance camera. Did it have a timestamp on it?
Yes, sir.
All right, what was that timestamp?
7/23/50.
All right. And again, to see that that was the same car that was on the Rebel Jackson as well as the Rainbow Cleaners video.
Yes, sir.
Now then, across the street, you have Rockets or they call it Molly Express.
I think so. I still call it Rockets.
Everybody still refers to it as Rockets, correct? All right, and Jeremy, it's going to be 7/23. Did you observe the car?
Yes, sir.
All right. And when you see that car that was in the other videos, with Rainbow Express Cleaners, to Rebel Jackson, CB Webb, just tell Jerry when you see it. We'll stop.
Right there.
And what, you know, identify the timestamp and date of that video. Can she hear you?
July 8th, 2022.
All right. Good, Exhibit 18. All right, now the video from Malabar Trails. You went down, you talked to the management there and got access to the video surveillance, correct?
Correct.
All right. Now there were, if you can, remind the jury of what was important to you when you went through and looked through all that video footage. What were you looking for?
Jay Lee's car.
So the car had been moving in that direction based on what you backtracked from this video, based on what we've seen just the last few minutes
Yes, sir.
for the jury's benefit?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, were you able to establish that the time was consistent with the CV Webb, and Rockets video, and the Molly Bar Trails apartment complex surveillance?
Yes, sir.
All right. How were you able to do that?
By watching the other videos and seeing the other vehicles besides Jay Lee's car pass through.
Now, if you can, we're going to, Jeremy, if you'll put that on 2017. Yeah, if you look at the date on here, it says July the 7th, 2022. It's got 2017.
Yes, sir.
How, do you know how many hours it was off?
The video was 12 hours and 52 minutes off.
How were you able to make that adjustment?
Looking in the settings, the system for some reason was set to Greenwich Mean Time. Looking at that, I needed to subtract 5 hours. Then once you subtracted 5 hours and I looked at my watch versus the real time on the live video, it was.
When it's something that only owner of the business can do, the custodian of the records not going to identify that particular person.
Do you want me to respond to that?
Want y'all to approach the bench anyway.
Minutes.
Did you make that adjustment?
Yes.
And with that adjustment, did you go back to Molly Bartrell's apartment and secure more footage?
Yes, sir.
Consistent with the calculations that you made?
Yes, sir.
And when you made that adjustment and secured that footage, what did you find?
The footage that we needed showing Jay Lee's vehicle coming into the complex.
But there's also another part of that too. Do you see anything else in that video surveillance besides Jay Lee's car coming into Molly Bartrell's?
Yes, sir.
What do you see?
Later on in the day, you see the tow truck.
No, before that, after the car is there, do you see any individual shortly after the car comes in?
Yes, sir.
What do you see?
You see Mr. Harrington jogging out of the apartment complex.
All right, and I represent to you that minutes later, we've already had evidence come in from Rocket's surveillance system that shows Tim Harrington getting into a vehicle with Keziah Carter.
Judge, I don't mean to interrupt, but I think that as the point that he's cleared up the methodology in which he used to calculate that time, I followed and understood it. I do think it's a proper mathematical. We would withdraw our objection as to that.
Okay, that sounds good enough anyway. I would like to clarify the record. I understand, because I get this right in my head, and I know Gary's here. You said you later obtained other video and compared times on that. Is that what you said?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I believe he said he later obtained other videos from this thing. And did you say, I didn't hear good. Did you say he compared the times on?
I think I understand. I think when he first went to Mount Guard, he didn't know the time was off. So when he got July 8th, it was just, he didn't even see Jay's car drive by, that's the only way he could go. So when he realized the time was off, he went back and got another footage to see, he corrected it, like, let me check this other area. That's what he was trying to say. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. The first bit of footage that we got was incorrect because the time frame was off. But once I made the adjustments, I was able to get the right footage.
And this was sometime that same day, bandit towing would appear at that same time. Is that correct?
1:50 p.m.
What?
Bandit towing is 1:50 p.m. 1:50. So that bandit towing comes and gets the car at 1:50 p.m. on July 8th. Is that what you're asking?
Well, I was wondering was there a video on that? And was it 12 hours and 52 minutes off as well? Is what I thought he was saying, but I obviously didn't understand. Is that what he was saying or not anyway?
Yes, Your Honor, that's what he's saying. He said, yes, when you see that, it's also 12 hours to do off.
All right. I thought that was what he's saying, but I wasn't sure if I heard right or not. That's what I took it to mean, but I want to make sure. All right. The objection has been withdrawn, and we'll start back up here in the morning. I'll don't discuss your testimony with anyone between now and our return stand, okay?
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna be here before 9 o'clock in the morning. I'll be here by no later than 8:45. I would encourage y'all to do here. Let's not be late tomorrow. I know you won't be. You're a boy. And I know you won't be. But, all right, court be in recess until, the jury will be back at 9 o'clock in the morning. We may take up some matter before then.
Okay, y'all. Let me stop that. All right, we're gonna move on to today. Finally, okay. All right, give me just a second. Let me put it up. Anybody got any questions? Put them in the chat, please, and thank you. Hit the like button for your girl. Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate it. I'm gonna pull up today's testimony.
Concern and anxiety in Oxford, Mississippi tonight as police search for a man who's been missing for several days. Investigators say 20-year-old Jimmy J.
Oh, sorry, people. I just got back. Everything okay?
Yeah, I'm pulling up today. We finished with
Okay.
yesterday.
A lot of objections.
Oh my God, you better
The,
say
ju-
it.
the jury's going to get tired of that.
Yeah, and that's why I don't understand. Well, I do understand why some lawyers do it, but I think some lawyers do it for distraction, though.
Well, he's objecting that they're just putting it in without any verification, and he knows that it's going to be hard to round up all those people to come to court.
Mm-hmm.
So he's hoping that if the judge rules that yes, you have to have a corroborating witness for your evidence, or we throw the evidence out, he's hoping that they can't get the people to come, so they could throw individual efforts out.
Mm.
Because they're backtracking. They're taking from where they towed it, and then they're going to look for all the cameras along each route that he could have taken. Then as soon as they find the car, then they backtrack a little further and a little further. They want to see that car leaving his complex or in the vicinity of his complex, leaving to go to that new place.
Okay. All right, y'all. This is from this morning. Live testimony. Now, of course, we're not up where they are right now, but this is from this morning live. Okay. And I think oh boy is back on the stand.
We're still on the same boat, sir, and we'll, continue with the state's direct examination.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's going to be. All right. Detective Hodges, yesterday, we were talking about the time stamp on the Molly Bar Trail surveillance. Do you recall that? When you went down there, you noticed that it was not current time. Can you explain that to the jury?
We got the video the first time. We noticed that the video was incorrect. We downloaded, so went back.
And if you don't mind, speak up a little bit.
So went back, and upon checking the system settings, it was setting Greenwich Mean, and it said that we needed to subtract 5 hours. After doing that, noticed the time was still off. So using my watch and looking at the time on the live stream, noticed that it was an additional 7 hours and 52 minutes off, for a total of 12 hours and 52 minutes.
All right. So the first thing you noticed that affected the time stamp was that the setting was incorrect.
Yes,
Because it was set to Greenwich time,
Greenwich Mean Time, yes.
Greenwich Mean Time. And here is what?
Central Standard Time,
All right, and that difference was
5
5
hours.
hours.
Yes,
So you made that adjustment in the setting. And when you look at the time, there was still a discrepancy, correct?
yes,
And that's not looking at this videotape. That was looking at their system, comparing it to the actual surveillance system at that time, correct?
yes, sir, the live feed.
All right, so when you're looking at the live stream, you made the Greenwich time adjustment of 5 hours. It was still off by how many hours in minutes?
After the Greenwich Mean Time, 7 hours and 52 minutes.
All right, so when you put those together, what was the total amount of time that the system was off?
12 hours and 52 minutes.
Now, I believe when you made that adjustment, you went and looked at the time around 7 to 8 o'clock in the morning on July the 8th, 2022.
Yes, sir.
And then you testified that you were able to secure that footage and you see the car, Jay Lee's car, coming in at a particular time to Molly Bar Trails on July 8th, 2022, correct?
July 7th on the
No,
video.
I mean, when you account for the time change, what time on July 8th, 2022, Jay Lee's car enter into the Molly Bar Trails parking lot?
Around 7:25.
Now then,
Around 7:25 that morning.
all right. Now, how much footage did you look at from that day, from the Molly Bar Trails surveillance system?
Up until the vehicle was towed.
Now then, and we're going to come back to when the vehicle was towed and how you know that. But when you first began looking at video surveillance from Molly Bar Trails apartment complex, what were you looking for?
Jay Lee's vehicle.
And you saw Jay Lee's vehicle. Did you see anything else?
Yes, sir.
What did you see?
Minutes later, you'll see Mr. Harrington run.
Objection, Your Honor, there's been no foundation laid that he knows Mr. Harrington whatsoever.
I'll ask him to, till a proper foundation is laid, that Gary will disregard that last answer.
So after Jay Lee's car comes in, you see an individual leaving shortly thereafter, correct?
Yes, sir.
At the time that you saw that individual, were you able to identify?
At that time, no.
Okay. So at that time, you saw that individual leaving the parking lot, Molly Bar Trails, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, at that point, did you try to find whether that person could have been seen on surveillance cameras coming in?
Yes, sir.
Did you find anybody walking into Molly Bar Trails that matched that description?
No, sir.
All right. Now, if you could tell the jury about the camera system at Molly Bar Trails.
It's a camera at the entrance. Like I said yesterday, it's one way in, one way out. The only cameras around the complex are right there at the front office.
All right. And behind Molly Bar Trails, are there any walking trails, running trails?
No, sir.
It's just the airport, the fence, and some trees, correct?
The airport fence and woods.
All right. Your Honor, permission to publish Exhibit 18.
Let me catch up from yesterday. 18, you say?
And I can inquire whether that's being, the screen, it should be able to be seen by all the parties in the courtroom.
Everybody got that on your, all right, and on the big screen. All right, 18 has been admitted into evidence. You may just publish it to the jury.
All right. Detective Hodges, we have queued the video up to, it looks like 2025. I'm sorry. All right. And if you could, remind the jury of what road that is where we see traffic going back and forth.
That is Molly Bar Road.
If someone were to turn in, is that a roadway as well? Or is that just the entrance?
That is just the entrance to Molly Bar Trails.
Hold on one second. Foundation.
I'm gonna let him buy that one anyway. Go ahead.
All right.
That is the entrance to Molly Bar Trails Apartments.
All right. All right, I'm gonna back it up to 2024 at the 45-second mark.
Good morning.
I'm sorry. It's at the 2017 mark. Sorry about that. All right, we're at queued up at 2016-55. All right. Do you see that car entering into Molly Bar Apartments?
Yes, sir. I did.
Got it back. All right, were you able to identify that vehicle?
Yes, sir.
All right. Whose vehicle was it?
That's Jay Lee's vehicle.
All right. And then from this same footage, you said you saw an individual leaving shortly thereafter, correct? I'm going to cue it up to just before 2026. All right. They're at 2026-40.
Yes, sir.
Is that what you were testifying to, what you observed on the video?
2026, yes, sir.
Okay. 20, 26, and 40 seconds, right?
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Were you able to observe what that individual was wearing?
Appears to be a hoodie.
All right. Can you see the image being depicted there at the timestamp that's represented on here at the 20, 26, 37 mark?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, taking into account the time adjustment that you made, can you tell the jury what the actual time this was?
That is around 7:34.
7:34 a.m. on what day?
July the 8th.
Now then, going back to, just for the record, can you describe what that individual in that exhibit is wearing?
It appears to be a light colored hoodie, and if you can play it a little bit more, I want to say he was wearing dark colored shorts.
Socks and shoes?
Yes.
Can you describe them? Be able to observe any other items? Can you play it again?
Looks like he might have something around his neck.
Okay. All right. I played it back. All right, at the 37 mark, said it appears like there was something around his neck
Yes, sir.
that was not part of that hoodie.
Objection, Your Honor, to the leading.
I sustain the objection.
Was what you observed around the neck part of the hoodie?
Your Honor, objection, that's a video speaks for itself, Your Honor.
Rephrase your question.
If you can, describe what he had around the hoodie.
Appears to be a darker colored piece of clothing or something.
If you don't mind, speak up. Now I'm going to hand you what's already been received in evidence. That's 13. That's going to be the records from Bandit Towing. And I believe you testified that they recorded that they reported down to Molly Bar Trails apartment complex on July the 8th at 1:50 p.m., correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, when you were looking through all of the video, were you able to see the J. Lee's car being towed from Molly Bar Trails?
Yes, sir.
You observed that when you were looking through those videos?
Yes, sir.
Did you already know that Bandit Towing, through those records, had towed J. Lee's car on July the 8th, 2022 at 1:50 p.m.?
Yes, sir.
All right. Did you compare that time to the time on the video where you observed Bandit Towing J. Lee's car from Molly Bar Trails Apartments?
Yes, sir.
Was it the exact same time extrapolation difference that you made in relation to the time that you saw J. Lee's car entering into Molly Bar Trails and the individual walking out?
Yes, sir.
Consistent with the adjustments that you made?
Yes, sir.
Were you able to confirm that your adjustments were accurate and correct based on the time records from Bandit Towing
Yes, sir.
and the video from Molly Bar Trails?
Yes, sir.
Now then, and you exhibit 19. Can you identify that?
This map,
Yes, sir.
it's a route showing the,
Objection is what that's being identified. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, you've seen it.
They can identify that objection.
You identify it.
it's a map showing,
Don't, just,
It's
yes or
yes or
no?
no for now.
yes,
You can't identify it. Is there anything on that exhibit that is consistent with what you just testified to?
no, sir.
All right. Now, it's already been identified as just for ID only. I want you to look at it, and I want you to see if there is an indication of the video from Rainbow Cleaners.
Yes, sir.
All right. If you could, take this pen, where that's indicated, and mark.
Before we get marking, let me look at the exhibit, because I know we've had some objections and such, and I want to make sure we're all on the same. We'll make sure that was half hour. Go ahead. Okay,
Your Honor, let me
I'll
state
let
my
you, I'll listen
objection.
to your objection now, go ahead.
I've objected time and time again about the relevance of any of this until we've established a crime, which we haven't. What this exhibit shows, what the evidence at this point in time is Keziah Carter leaving and traveling back, dropping our client off in his car. This car video that they're talking about, the only connection they've shown car coming back at this point in time is leaving Jay Lee's apartment at 558. On this map, it indicates a route going to our client's apartment. That is not in evidence, Your Honor.
All right.
This route here going to, let me finish, Your Honor.
Prior to the introduction of this map, and its entirety like it is now, the state will have to lay a foundation as to where these items are, where each of these locations are anyway.
Your Honor, I want to be perfectly clear. The video on Rainbow Cleaners, they testified to identified in an exhibit. The video at Rebel Drive, they've identified in an exhibit. Out of order, no connection to any crime, no connection to any killing, no connection to murder, but the court's allowed it to happen. The Rocket Quick Mart video, it's in the exhibit. CD Webb video, Molly Barr, all these exhibits, absolutely zero evidence has been submitted that Lafayette Place Apartments has anything to do with this car that they're referencing in this. At this point in time, Your Honor, this map is inconsistent with the proof that they've laid in evidence this time. If they'll just put Jay Lee's house on here, his apartment, and put it through there on this particular map, I don't have an objection, because that's what the proof is. They show Jay Lee's apartment, leaving in his car, and a car going to Molly Bar. That is the evidence right now. And I'm going to object to anything else on top of that. There's nothing whatsoever that Lafayette Place or my client's apartment has anything to do at this point in time, or a car leaving from Lafayette Place. The Jay Lee's car ever left from Lafayette Place at this point in time. They don't have any video from Lafayette Place to say they left from that location. What we have right now at 558, Jay Lee's car leaving. And they're going through these cameras from Rainbow, Rockets to Molly Bar. That is the proof. Nothing more, nothing less. Anything more than that at this point in time, Your Honor, I'm objecting to, and it'd be improper for it to be admitted. If they want to put that map in right
Hey,
now,
Tosh
that's fine.
Kitchen.
It's misleading to this.
Welcome. Hey, Natasha. I'm sorry I missed out y'all coming in. I'm looking at the screen. Hey, Lady Marie. Thank y'all for joining. Be sure to hit the like button. Thank you.
State.
Your Honor, it's our case in chief. We do anticipate a interview, 2 interviews, one with the defendant at his apartment, one with the defendant at the sheriff's department.
Well, put it on.
I mean, at the police department. We're going to.
Put the map on that.
We're gonna talk. I gave you a chance to talk more, a bit more chance to talk.
He admits that Jay Lee came to Lafayette Place that morning.
Hang on.
All right.
Let me just tell you this. Let me tell you this. I'm gonna let you talk about this map at this time. And I'm going to let you talk about what the location of Lafayette Place apartment is at this time. In relation to Rainbow Cleaners, I'm not gonna let you say that is the route that was taken at this time. In fact, you could say, let the officer identify where Lafayette Place, Mr. Carter say he carried.
Hey, Meryl. Good morning, sweetie.
The defendant back to, but at this point, I'm not going to let you testify that you can start your route at Molly Bar Trails, and as far as a route of the vehicle from Molly Bar Trails to Rainbow Cleaners, but you can't refer to it from Lafayette Place Apartments to Rainbow Cleaner as a route at this time.
Your Honor, I would ask the court to admonish Mr. Horan for wrinkling my exhibits.
So we're perfectly clear. That's a route. They're not going to be to testify. This man's not going to be to testify. This exhibit's not going to be admitted into evidence until such time as it becomes relevant, correct?
I'm going to let this witness testify about the points on the map. We're not going to stop. No route. We're not going to say that Mr. J. Lee's car.
You mean Mr. Harrington, his attorney? I think that's his attorney, right?
Cleaners to apartments this time. I will let
Yeah, that's his defense attorney.
Yeah, I read a little bit on him.
And that is going out if this witness knows.
They really trying to get this evidence out about that car. That's what I was telling what's called. That's why they was talking about it in the beginning with the mama.
Yeah, that's because they're trying to. They can't place him in the car, and they can't place him
Or
leaving
can you
the place where the
represent, like,
car
up with a
was.
map that says route of car because it hasn't been established?
I'm not introducing the evidence this time. I'm let the witness refer to it and tell about those things that I've said at this time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
But if uh, if a witness takes the stands and say that they've been to from point A to point B, consistent with that map, I'll reconsider at that time.
Thank you.
They reference that map up to the point where we're at right now.
Your Honor, I'm sorry I got so hot. We tried to
Sorry,
stay back.
I told you, as I warned the people before we started, this is gonna be a hotly contested case, and I expect it. I'm not holding against anybody.
Just ready to get to it, Your Honor.
Well, let's get to it then.
I'm ready.
Okay, pause it for 1 second.
Okay.
Give me a minute. Let me get back to my laptop. Hold on.
The red mark. If I remove that red mark.
If you remove that red mark, that's significant. Oh, wow, taken by Jimmy Lee forward view. If you remove that red mark from rainbow planers to a place art.
Go ahead.
So he's contesting that they're saying that this is the route that Jay Lee's car took from his apartment to where they dropped the car off. The defense attorney is saying you don't know that because you can't place my client in that car or place my client leaving that place where you found the car, because on it says route of car from defendant's address.
Mm-hmm.
So he wants to make sure the jury doesn't hear that Jay Lee's car was driven by their client to that position and dropped it off. There's nothing that connects that route with a crime, is what he said.
So they don't have footage, and I was looking at the footage. The footage that they have of the car. Okay, so the footage that they have of the car leaving, you can't see him.
Nope.
You can't see him getting in the car.
Nope.
But it's leaving from his apartment.
It could be Jay Lee driving that car. And it could have been Jay Lee dropping that car off over there. And that could be Jay Lee in the hoodie walking out the gate.
Okay, so why would Jay Lee take his car to a tow yard or take his car to another apartment?
That doesn't matter. It's establishing
reasonable doubt.
It doesn't matter. It's establishing that Jay Lee could have done all these things when he decided to disappear.
Wow.
By establishing that the defendant drove that car over there, the defendant dropped that car off over there, and the defendant left from the place where the car was dropped off.
And so the defendant running around with no car. He's not using his credit cards. He's not using the debit card. He just went off the grid. But I get it. Reasonable doubt. I get it.
Reasonable doubt is Jay Lee drove that car over there and left it. They can't prove that their client did any of those things. Okay. And they keep, and his questioning, and the question he's asking is getting the witness to state, yes, that car was seen here, here, and here. But the way they're leaning it to his client was in that car. And that's what he's objected to. Do not specify that this is the route that was taken by my client, because there's no proof that a crime was committed from the evidence you're showing. So you can't place my client in that car.
Okay.
I get it. I know it's not a point of view you guys like to hear.
But I get it. I get it. I got that's his whole purpose is to create reasonable doubt. I get it.
Yes. And again, until the body cam evidence is admitted, that his client was in a car that was leaving the vicinity of that, and now they're asking, did you see the client leave his apartment to go on that run? And then he
Okay.
got picked up over there. These are, like I said, reasonable doubt. That's all you need to acquit someone.
All right. Let's listen, y'all. Let's listen.
I'll let you introduce this name. You start at Rainbow Cleaners and go to Molly Bar Apartment, or vice versa. I'll let you introduce this name, and at some point, depending on the evidence, I may let it in with that mark on there. But at this point, and I will let you reference, officer testified, in relation to those points, where is the Fit Place Apartments? No map with the red line on it.
No, I would only call it.
What now?
Map. At that point in time, the map would be consistent with what you've allowed into evidence at this time. But only have my objection left as to the relevancy. If they do that, when Rainbow Cleaner headed that way,
I
that's
think
no
that's
other
what,
problem with it.
that's what we're gonna do at this point. Just looks in, let Mr. Horan see if that. Somebody get a better, see if you can get a better map with, you take the red line off, put the blue one on.
Put tape on.
While y'all working on that, I'm gonna take this one with me.
If you put something right there, then it won't look like that.
Did you enjoy your day out yesterday?
I'm sorry.
Did you enjoy your day out yesterday?
Well, it wasn't really a day off. I had other stuff, but
With your fingers rested.
my fingers were.
All right. Have we made any progress on the red line redaction? If you want to keep up, resume your questioning without introduction into evidence until you can get a amended copy made. You can, let's not wait to, I want to introduce your public to the jury.
I was gonna write the exhibit, have the witness write the exhibit numbers by each one before we admitted it.
Just don't display, just don't publish that. We're not going to admit that current map into evidence. You can continue questioning him on it as you like. Just don't display it at this time.
Okay.
What is that exhibit number?
17.
Nine. Are y'all ready? At such time as we get a, for lack of a better word, a new map, I wanted to find a different number. The current map 19 will be for ID purposes, and if assuming that the map is later introduced into evidence, will be introduced as a new exhibit number, so that if it ever comes up, we'll know what two different maps look like. Okay. ready. All right, come here, Ian. All right, everybody good? I'm glad to see you lay the cookies down anyway. You didn't go to the fader last night, did you? Lay hands on you. All right, I'm glad you're doing better. But you may resume your examination.
Thank you. All right, we're going to look at exhibit S13. Is that in focus for you?
We don't have any, we don't, no contact on anything, I don't think. Y'all got any? I don't have any.
I think you control it. I may be wrong.
I got, all the lights are on up here, like it's been displayed.
It's on HDMI at the podium.
We got the
So I'm
expert-
good here.
We got the expert coming anyway.
I may have done it when I. No, it's going to be on the.
We get somewhere now, I think.
All right. Is it on? It's on. Yeah, I don't think that matters.
Did y'all last night? Barbecue.
There we go. Sure why? Just leave that on.
I can see, can y'all see? We're back in business. Apparently, big screen can see now too.
As far as I can tell, we didn't do anything. It just showed up.
I walked by and I have a way to just, my mere presence to screw up technology anyway.
Again, Detective Hodges, we're looking at S13. And that's a receipt from Bandit Towing, right?
Correct.
Who is Bandit Towing and what do they do? And do you work with them on a regular basis?
They're a tow company within the city, I guess the county, and they tow vehicles.
All right. Can you tell the jury a little bit about parking as an issue in Oxford and parking as an issue at apartment complexes in Oxford?
We've got more vehicles here to do parking. Apartment complexes, they only have so many parking spaces and they're mostly for their tenants. They do have some of them do have areas for visitors. Some people that visit don't park in a visiting spot. They park in the area for the tenant spots, so the tenants call and complain. The apartment complexes, they have started hiring private tow companies to come in and keep a check. If you don't have a parking pass and you're parking in a resident spot, they will hook up and tow you.
In this receipt, do you see a time indication as to when they reported, Bandit Towing reported to Molly Bar Trails?
Yes, sir.
All right, what time is that?
1:50 p.m.
All right. Now then, can you compare that time to the time you saw Jay Lee's car entering into Molly Bar Trails?
That is after.
How long?
7 o'clock to not quite 7 hours.
I believe that you testified that the Jay Lee's vehicle enters into Molly Bar Trails at 7:25.
Yes, sir.
So from 7:25 to 1:50 is how long it took for somebody to report a car that was parked in Molly Bar Trails apartment to contact a towing company company to come in and review it?
Actually, Bandit Towing, they periodically ride through complexes. And when they see a vehicle parked without a sticker, they'll hook up to it.
We've gone through this previously. Testifies what practices are banded towing. That's irrelevant to.
If he knows, he can. If you don't, he don't.
Probably been asked and answered by other witnesses.
Let's move on. I think it has been covered anyway.
All right. I'm going to display another page of Exhibit 13. Now, this image, prior to you ever seeing Jaylee's car, did you have an idea of what Jaylee's car looked like?
Prior to this image, no, sir, I don't believe so.
So you found out from looking at these photos from Bandit Towing what the car looked like?
Yes, sir.
All right. And any distinct markings?
Yes, sir.
All right. And what were those?
That racing stripe on the hood.
And then after you had this information is when you went and looked for cars that morning, correct?
Yes, sir.
That looked like Jaylee's car.
Yes, sir.
Now then, looking at another page of that exhibit, orienting the jury to the layout of Molly Bartrell's apartment, can you tell where this vehicle was as far as what you were describing as the back of Molly Bartrell's, behind Molly Bartrell's, behind the parking lot?
That is the back side of Molly Bar Trails, and that behind the vehicles, that is the wooded area.
And then behind the wooded area is what?
The airport.
Is it possible for anybody to walk onto the airport property from Molly Bartrell's parking lot?
No, sir.
Why?
There's a fence there.
All right, and looking at another page of that exhibit, this is Jaylee's car from a different angle, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, and that's from the rear?
Yes, sir.
I believe. If you zoom in on it, you can see the vanity plate.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any other distinctive markings on the vehicle?
Yes, sir. That sticker.
What does that sticker say?
I believe it says, "I love my Pomeranian."
All right, did you know Jaylee to have a Pomeranian?
Had a dog, yes, sir.
All right, in looking through all of the videos, if you can, just from Molly Bartrell's apartment, all the surveillance videos, you focused on July 8th, 2022, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, and we've already introduced exhibits where you identified Jaylee's car entering into Molly Bartrell's and the route that car took to get there, correct?
Correct.
All right. From that time, how many hours before did you look at? And how many hours after that time did you look through video surveillance from Molly Bartrell's?
Several.
All right. And what were you looking for?
Was this after we identified the person run?
Now, let me ask you this. Beforehand, did you ever see Jaylee's vehicle enter into Molly Bartrell's other than that time in all of the video surveillance you saw from Molly Bartrell's park?
No, sir, just at one time.
All right. And can you approximately tell the jury how many hours of footage you looked at from Molly Bartrell's park? How long did it take you to go through that footage?
That was several hours of footage and a couple of days worth going through, looking through it.
I can't hear you.
Several hours of video footage, and it took a couple of days to go through it.
All right. So now then, from the time that the 7/20 on July the 8th, 2022 at Molly Bartrell's, when you see Jaylee's car come in, did you ever see any footage of J. Lee's Hart leaving prior to bandit towing coming in at 1:50 p.m.?
No, sir.
Court's indulgence. Court's indulgence.
Okay. You may. Don't trip. No, I want to assign this a different number. You just want, well, since we don't have a 20 yet, let's just make it 20.
Over the file. All right. I'm going to hand you exhibit 20 for ID. You recognize that? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right, and I believe I handed you a pen as well, correct?
Yes, sir.
And we started out, is there an indication on that exhibit for the rainbow cleaners surveillance video
Yes, sir.
and a time, correct?
Yes, sir.
And the rainbow cleaners video was introduced as exhibit 14, correct?
Yeah.
All right. If you don't mind, take my pen and where the rainbow cleaners is, just put exhibit 14. All right, is there an indication of the CD web photo indicated on that exhibit?
Yes, sir. It says CD web video.
Video, but it's actually the way you testify.
That
You took a
is,
screenshot
that
from
right,
that CD web video, correct?
that right there is Jackson and the Rebel that you have in your hands.
Well, let's do Jackson Road first. Is there an indication on Jackson and Road?
It says Rebel Drive.
Is that from the UPD camera?
Yes, sir.
And that was exhibit 15,
Yes, sir.
correct?
Yes,
You
sir.
could indicate that in that location. And then you've got the Rockets video. Is that indicated on that exhibit?
Yes, sir.
All right. Is time on it consistent with your testimony?
Yes, sir.
All right. And that was introduced as exhibit 16.
Yes, sir.
You can indicate exhibit 16. Is there an indication on that exhibit for the CD web screenshot?
Yes, sir.
Does it say video on it?
It says video. Yes,
So
sir.
you testified about that and we have a screenshot of that.
Yes, sir.
And that's exhibit 17.
Yes, sir.
If you can indicate that on that exhibit. Then the exhibit that we're looking at the Molly Bar Trails apartment video, there were 2 times. Are those indicated on that exhibit, consistent with your testimony?
Yes, sir.
All right, and that was referencing exhibit S18, correct?
Yes, sir.
You could indicate that on that exhibit. You could put just a little S by each one of those. This time the state asked that S20 be received.
Other than the objection previously noted, any objection? It'll be admitted.
All right, permission to publish.
Okay.
All right. So looking at exhibit 20, do you see Molly Bar Trails and Lafayette Place Apartments on that exhibit?
Yes, sir.
All right. Can you tell the jury what the distance is from one location to the other?
We've got it briefly. I mean, discuss it.
Cutting and pasting and copying how I survived before the age of all this computer stuff anyway.
State asked for this to be received as S21.
Is that one?
It's replacing S20.
Everybody go take it. Okay. All right. That'll be that's one.
S21.
Well, I've already admitted S20.
We're going to replace S20.
Well, let's just leave it as, let's just throw that one S20 away and make this S20. If that's everybody's all right with that, because I've already shown S20 as admitted, so. I will note just for the record that apparently we removed some notation on the original S20 and replaced it with a new S20. All right, go ahead.
All right. So looking at S14 on exhibit S1, you see that?
Yes, sir.
Is that near Lafayette Place Apartments?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, looking at Lafayette Place Apartments and following roadway that you would naturally take to get to Molly Bar Trails, how long is it from that point to Molly Bar Trails?
According to that map, it's 2.6 miles.
2.6 miles?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, the exhibits reference the surveillance cameras that you got this evidence from, correct?
Correct.
And if you were going to leave Lafayette Place Apartments and go to Molly Bar Trails, would that be the natural route to take?
That'd be the route I took.
All right. And from S14 to S18, those are you know, in ascending order, but also, are they sequentially connected to each other?
Yes.
All right, I want to look at the time listed on this exhibit, Molly Bar Trails Apartment, okay? That was in S18, referring back to that video surveillance, okay?
Okay.
The first time listed up there at Molly Bar Trails is what?
7:25 a.m.
And what does that refer to?
That is the time that Jay Lee's vehicle enters into Molly Bar Trails.
And then below that is a time listed 7:34. What does that refer to?
That is the time that we see an individual running out of Molly Bar Trails.
Know what they were dressed in, know what they were wearing, know what they were like, correct?
Yes.
All right, so that 7:34 refers to that moment in time on the video, correct?
Correct.
Now, the way it stands, if you were to play that exhibit, it's going to have what the surveillance system timestamp had on it, correct?
Correct.
And that's in, that was 7/7/2002, correct?
Correct.
But you testified that you corrected that time when you went and gathered that video surveillance yourself, adjusted for that time. And that's how you arrived at 7:25 and 7:34, correct?
Correct.
And you were able to also compare that to the timestamps on every other surveillance camera, correct?
Correct.
And were they consistent with each other as to the time that you adjusted on the exhibit for Molly Bar Trails?
Yes.
Right. So, I'm going to toggle back and forth. All right, so looking at Exhibit 20, you've got S14 Rainbow Cleaners at 7:18 a.m., correct?
Correct.
Friendly reminder, if you have conversations with co-counsel at the podium, you're more than likely being heard. All right. I'm going to try to toggle back. Yeah. Everybody good on the jury? How do I get back to the HDMI? All right. I hope so. Is that being displayed for you? It is. Yes, sir. I think it's everywhere. All right. Now, that's going to be, I'm projecting the rainbow cleaners. That's going to be Exhibit 14, correct?
Correct.
And the time on that right now is what?
7:18.
Okay. And I believe you testified that we're looking for a white truck with a trailer.
Yes, sir.
Then behind that truck is who?
Jay Lee's vehicle.
White truck, trailer, Jay Lee's vehicle.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now then, if I toggle back, can you see exhibit S20 being displayed?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, that video that we just saw, is that referencing S14 that you indicated on exhibit 20
Yes, sir.
at 718, correct?
Yes, sir.
That is connected to Rainbow Cleaners video, police cars eastbound on Jackson.
Yes, sir.
All right. And then on S15, I'm going to let it play until it's off the screen first. Okay, we back to exhibit 14. You see that on your display? All right, and that's at 71852.
Yes, sir.
All right. Is that eastbound on Jackson?
Yes, sir.
Is that headed to the UPD Rebel and Jackson surveillance camera?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, we're going to look back at exhibit S20. We went from S14
Yes, sir.
eastbound on Jackson,
Yes, sir.
headed to the Rebel Drive UPD camera, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to project S15. Looking at S15, are you able to identify that vehicle?
Yes, sir.
All right. Whose vehicle is it?
That's Jay Lee's vehicle.
Is that the same vehicle that was in S14 on the Rainbow Cleaners?
Yes, sir.
Is it traveling the same direction eastbound on Jackson?
Yes, sir.
Now, is there a timestamp? You may not be able to see it. But I need to. Can you see the date?
7/8/2022.
And are you able to tell the time?
Time on that is going to be 7/21/56.
Is that consistent with the timestamp on exhibit S20?
Yes.
All right. So that's from S14 to S15 eastbound on Jackson.
Yes.
All right. Now then, the next exhibit is going to be S16, right?
Yes, sir.
And that was video promotions, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. So the Rockets exhibit is S16. Do you see that being displayed on your screen?
Yes, sir.
And that's going to be, according to your testimony, at 7/23/21, correct?
Yes, sir.
right, so we're at 7:23:09. Do you still see that image?
Yes, sir.
All right, what car just passed in front of Rockets?
That is Jay Lee's vehicle.
All right, at 7:23:25.
Yes, sir.
You see it stopping at that stop sign right there?
Yes, sir.
All right. And so if we look back, at exhibit 20, does it appear that the timing from S15 and S16 is consistent with traveling that distance from 15 to 16?
Yes, sir.
Right, you see the car completely leave the surveillance camera. The next indication on this map is going to be S17, right?
Correct.
S17, sort of right at the same time there in front of Rocket's video. They were sort of getting two different angles, correct?
Yes, sir.
Even though they're different establishments. Now, was there a time listed on that surveillance?
Yes, sir.
What was that?
7:23:50.
Okay. Now going back to exhibit 20, we're getting to the Molly Bar Trail surveillance, right?
Correct.
And that's listed on here, Molly Bar Trails 725 S18.
Correct.
Is that being projected on your screen?
Yes, sir.
See Jaylee's car come in?
Yes, sir.
Oh, man, I'm sorry.
Whatever you did, don't do it no more.
Is that being projected on your screen?
Yes, sir.
According to this down here on this exhibit, Jaylee's car pulls in, according to their timestamp, at 2017. You see the car coming in?
Yes, sir.
No. All right, 2017.
Yes, sir.
Would you look at exhibit 18 on is exhibit 20 displayed?
Yes, sir.
The time is 7:25.
Yes, sir.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Is that based on you're adjusting for the appropriate time, based on Greenwich time zone setting, and based on confirming through bandit towing the time difference, making those adjustments from this 2017 number to what you arrived at on this exhibit?
Yes, sir.
And is that time consistent with the path that Jay Lee's car took Rainbow Cleaners through Rockets gas station, consistent with the time that you arrived at, based on your calculations, if somebody was headed from Rainbow Cleaners to Molly Bar Trails.
Yes, sir.
What's the bill? You're right. I'm just making sure it's the right exhibit. All right. Do you see an image on your screen
Yes, sir.
from Exhibit 18? All right, we're queued up to almost 2034 on this exhibit, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, and this is the spot on the video that matches up to the 734 timestamp that you listed on Exhibit S20? Do you know?
No, sir. It should be 2026.
Here's the exhibit. It's 2026.
Yes, sir.
All right, so 2026 matches up to the 734,
Yes, sir.
and we're queued up to 2025 and 59 seconds. All right, that matches up to the Molly Bar Trails, the second timestamp on your exhibit in S20.
Yes.
You can see what that individual is wearing, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, you can see the individual go in a certain direction too, correct?
Yes, sir.
And what
Thank you,
road is that?
Kimon. I think you may be in the bushes, but thank you
In
for
what direction
supporting
did that
me.
individual
Thank
go
you.
on Molly Bar Road?
He turned right, leaving the
Turn.
company. Turned right, leaving the complex.
And is that toward?
Toward Rockets.
Toward Rockets. All right. Now, prior to your testimony, video from Rockets was introduced through Keziah Carter. Do you know who Keziah Carter is?
Yes, sir.
Have you viewed that video from Rockets
Yes, sir.
involving Keziah Carter?
Yes, sir.
During the investigation, do you know what Keziah Carter did on July the 8th, 2022 at 7:38?
Said what he did. He,
Part of your investigation.
yes, sir.
What did he do?
I'm gonna let the officer testify as what his investigation is.
There it is. All right, I'm projecting Exhibit 4. It's queued up July 8th, 2022 at 7:37 and 55 seconds. Do you recognize this video?
Yes, sir. That's Rockets.
You recognize this video?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now I'm going to direct your attention. We're at 7:38:07. And again, the traffic outside the parking lot at the top of the screen, what road is that?
That is Molly Bar Road.
And Molly Bar Trails, if I was to leave this parking lot, how would I get to Molly Bar Trails?
Take a left.
I'm going to back it up a few seconds. It's 7:38 mark, okay? All right. Now, if you are to look at the top left of the image being projected, do you see the white van?
Yes, sir.
And if you look above that and to the left, do you see that area?
Yes, sir.
And that area is what, Molly Bar Road?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to play. If you would, that area, tell me when you see an individual running, okay?
There he is.
That's at the 7:38 mark in 5 seconds.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, comparing that timestamp with the time that you adjusted for the person leaving Molly Bar Trails apartment, what's the difference between those two times?
Around 4 minutes.
Does the person that you see there at the 7:38 and 24-second mark appear to be wearing the same type of clothing as the person leaving Molly Bar Trails apartment?
Yes, sir.
Does it look like they're wearing the exact same clothing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, they're putting him in that white car right there.
I can't remember whether I think you testified yesterday, or it may have been another witness, but you're familiar with this area, correct?
Yes, sir.
Where is the police department in relation to Rockets?
To the right.
And if you don't mind, speak up.
To the right.
And do you travel this area quite often?
Yes, sir.
Are you familiar with people that run at certain times of day and that kind of thing?
Yes, sir.
You recognize them on a regular basis?
Some of them.
Had you ever seen someone like this running in that area?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, you looked at all the video surveillance. Did you see any other runners that morning in any other surveillance that you saw that looked and matched that description?
I believe so. No, not that match that description. No, sir.
Tend to the witness.
We've been out here a little while, with not too many interruptions, any breaks. Anyway, so I'm gonna give you a little break at this time. Remember, court discuss, don't discuss the case, don't want to discuss the case with you, don't express a point of opinion.
Hold on, y'all. Let me see what's going on. Hold on.
Just when, has been previously admitted into evidence second.
Mm.
Which one is that?
So the prosecutor,
Described, Mr. Lee's.
Okay,
vehicle
hold on.
being
Let me pause.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Oh, shoot. Hold on. All right, go ahead.
This photo,
I call it a racing stripe on the.
Damn it, man. This thing is running slow. Hold on. Go ahead, D-True.
so the prosecutor is trying to place the man they see leaving the complex where the car was left and getting in that white car at the gas station video. Because remember, later on, that becomes important. But they're trying to place the guy. Is he wearing the same clothes as the person you saw in the video earlier? Yes. So they want to place him in that white car because that becomes important. I guess in a little bit, they're going to show some more footage. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
that gold stripe is running down the center line of the hood of that vehicle, correct?
Yes, sir.
We also looked at her back of this vehicle. I believe that at the tag. Well, thank you, Justin. We'll get it going. What is distinctive?
Like it says J. and then there's a sticker on the back that appears to say, "I love my Pomeranian."
That sticker is a white sticker in the shape of a dog bone.
Yes, sir.
Were there any other distinctive features of the outside of Jay Lee's car that you were aware of?
If you look from the side, it might need to be a different side photo. That photo might not.
I'll show another photo. Is this what you're referring to about you want to look from the side?
Not that side. Or that photo doesn't show it.
This is the other side of the vehicle. This is the passenger side. What do you find distinctive on the passenger side?
The trim around the windows. The design of it.
I'm not sure what you're referring to. Could I, Judge, may I approach? Please tell me what you're referring to.
See the design.
The insulation on the trim? Are those the only items that you find to be distinctive on the outside of the vehicle?
The rims.
Got a photograph I'd like to have marked next. Sergeant, I'd like to take a look at this photograph. Whose vehicle is that?
That's Jay Lee's vehicle.
Is there a distinctive marking in that photograph?
Yes.
Thank you. I'd ask that D21 be admitted.
That'll be, D21.
Judge, I request to publish. Sergeant Hodges, what is that on the side, on the driver's side door of this vehicle?
It appears to be a sticker.
And what does that sticker, what does that sticker say?
J.
Gold color sticker that says J.
Yes.
Thank you. So as far as distinctive aspects of the car, we have gold stripe on the hood, a dog bone sticker, a vanity plate, and gold lettering of J on the side of the door. Is that correct?
Correct.
I think he said more than that. I know he said all those things, asked him a question.
I'll give you a chance to reiterate anyway.
You also mentioned that you thought the window insulation was distinctive in the rims. Is that correct? The window trim. All right. I would like to ask you about what was marked as States Exhibit 14, the video from Rainbow Cleaners. Timestamp on this video is 7:18:53. Got about 20 seconds to go. I'm going to play. I would ask you to let me know when you see. I'm not going to pause the video. I'm talking to keep it playing.
Are you playing it now?
It's playing now.
We still see the photo.
I apologize.
That keeps there off of the screen before the play or not. We go. We got contact.
All right, we're still in front of the pertinent point. Please just let me know when you see Jay Lee's car enter the video. Watch carefully. It will continue to play.
Right there.
Based on your observation of that video, are you able to identify the gold stripe on the hood of that car?
From that video there, I don't believe so.
Based on your observation of that video, are you able to read the vanity plate on that car?
No, sir.
Based on your observation of that video, are you able to identify the dog bone sticker that says "I love Pomeranians"?
Are we able to replay it again?
Happy to.
we able to stop it when it is above the white mailbox at Rainbow Cleaners? A little bit further. Okay. Are you able to blow that up?
I'm not.
From right here, I'm not.
Based on your observation of this video, can you identify the gold J sticker on the driver's side door of that vehicle?
I don't believe I could.
Based on your observation of this video, we're identifying a black car going down the road. Is that correct?
I believe the trim, the window trim that I talked about appeared similar.
Based on that clear image, which I believe is about as close as we can get on this video, based on that image, what can you describe about the window trim?
Can I get the photo?
No, I'm asking about that image.
Well, we had photos and stuff that we compared.
I understand that, but I'm asking you about that image.
All right, what was your question again?
I'm asking you, you said that you thought you could identify the distinctive window trimming. On that image of that video, what is distinctive that you can describe from that image?
Without being able to say that we compared it with another photo, I believe you got me handcuffed here.
So is it fair to say that based on this video, based on stopping it and looking at individual images inside it, you can't identify any distinctive features of Jay Lee's car? Is that a fair statement?
Without having a photo to be able to show comparison.
All right, thank you. Sergeant Hodges, you also testified about some of your investigation at the Molly Bar Trails apartment. Specifically, you were asked about watching the surveillance video from the time. Excuse me one second. You were asked about the length of time on the surveillance video at Molly Bar Trails that you reviewed in relation to this investigation, correct?
Yes, sir.
And what was the time frame in which you reviewed those videos?
Hey, Brandy. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you.
From what point at the earliest piece of video that you reviewed to the latest period, what is that range?
Without being able to look at the videos themselves to go all the way back from the time that we got, I believe it was somewhere, I'm taking a guess here, I believe it was somewhere around 2 in the morning.
Roughly 2 a.m. on July 8th?
Yes, sir.
And up until the car was towed away by bandit towing?
Yes, sir.
And that was the only period of time that you reviewed with security camera footage from Molly Bar Trails?
Besides the footage that we got prior that was incorrect based on the times.
Okay, so fair enough. Aside from the footage you reviewed that you realized was incorrect, it resulted in you determining it was in GMT time, converting that, those two, let's call them 2 sets of videos. Those are the only 2 sets you ever reviewed, correct?
Yes, sir.
You never reviewed footage from any other day prior to this?
I did not.
Okay, thank you. Now,
Thank you, Merle.
on the
Thank you, Merle, for supporting the live stream. I appreciate it, sweetie. Thank you.
Molly Bar Trails video, I believe that the timestamp for of what is on the camera. Now I understand that it's adjusted for what the actual time is. The timestamp for what was on the camera for when Jay Lee's vehicle enters Molly Bar Trails was roughly 2017. I'm gonna do that up. And before I play that, I mean, you also said that the timestamp for roughly when an individual is seen running out of the apartment complex was 2026. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are there any vehicles or other individuals that enter or leave Molly Bar Trails during that time period?
Come on, I need to start the question.
Officer, again, during the time, and just remove the constant timestamps from it. During the time period from when the J. Lee vehicle enters Molly Bar Trails to the time that the individual on foot that we've been talking about is seen leaving, do any other vehicles or individuals leave Molly Bar Trails?
I do not recall.
Okay. Well, Judge, I believe the video would speak for itself. It's only about a 9-minute strip. I'd ask you just play it.
It's your cross-examination. Play what you want. Make a good one, so.
And Judge, I've got some, to prove my point, I've got some timestamps. It's okay, I'm gonna skip ahead just a second. Within the frame of what we're discussing. Sergeant Hodges, do you see a white SUV leaving Molly Bar Trails?
Yes, sir.
What direction does that vehicle appear to be traveling?
Towards Rockets.
It made a right out of Molly Bar Trail, driving down Molly Bar Road to Rockets. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Sergeant Hodges, you recognize that white car exiting Molly Bar Trails?
Yes, sir. I see it.
Is it likewise traveling consistent, making a right turn out of Molly Bar Trails towards Rockets?
Yes, sir.
Seconds. Do you see this blue car entering Molly Bar Trails?
Yes.
Likewise, do you see the white or silver car entering Molly Bar Trails?
Yes, sir.
Finally, do you recognize this? Do you recognize that this gray car is exiting Molly Bar Trails?
I see that car. Yes, sir.
What direction is it traveling?
It is traveling right towards Rockets.
Thank you. Sergeant, is it a fair summation to say that, and I'll represent that there are no more vehicles that enter or exit prior to the individual leaving on foot?
You say so?
Is it fair then to say that between that time period 5 different vehicles are either entering or exiting Molly Bar Trails.
I didn't count them, but if you say so.
We had a white SUV go out, correct?
Yes, sir.
We had a white car go out, correct?
Yes, sir.
We had a blue car go in, correct?
Yes, sir.
We had a silver car go in.
Yes, sir.
We had a gray car go out. I count 5. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And again, you've never reviewed any other video from Molly Bar Trails from any other day.
From any other day?
Molly Bar Trails apartment. You testified that you've never, aside from these, you have 2 distinct now, I'll say, dumps because of the time difference. Did you ever review any other footage from the Molly Bar Trails apartments in relation to this case?
Relation to, there you go. That's what I needed to clarify. No,
To this case.
reference to this case, no, sir.
So based on that, you have no knowledge aside from on this instance, on this day, about what cars, what vehicles may or may not be present in Molly Bar Trails.
Correct.
1 second, Your Honor. Thank you. Tim, the witness.
Are you ready?
Good deal, thank you. Need to get 18 out. 14. What is 14? Detective Hodges, are you familiar with the VLC program?
Yes, sir.
Are you able to, do you know how to zoom in using the software
I don't think you can zoom in on VLC.
on this?
Yes, sir.
Seven 18.
718. Can you pull it out of the thing? 718 on here. I need a second. I know how to do that. Go into the settings. I just need that. So I say, can you ask for parts and details? Can you make it? It's on you. It's on you. Parts and indulgence, like, and like, is it playing on the thing? I need to.
Everybody good on Jerry? All right.
All right. While she's working on that, I'm going to go over a few things with you.
Yeah.
You know what kind of car, I think you testified to, that you knew the make and model of Jerry's car.
Yes, sir.
What was that?
A Ford Fusion.
You know the make and model? I mean, the year
I believe it was a 2014.
2014 Ford Fusion.
Yes, sir.
You know the color?
Appears black to me.
And then it had distinctive markings.
Yes, sir.
And it looked like you described the trim around the driver's side window, by the windows all the way around the car.
Yes, sir.
Was it chrome, kind of a chrome band?
It looks like it. Yes, sir.
All right. And you also described the rims of the car.
Yes.
Do you remember what that was?
The rims,
The rims?
they appear goldish colored to me. But you got to remember, I'm partially colorblind.
Angie Exhibit 13. Does your color blindness affect your ability to distinguish between silver and gold? Can you tell?
Right there, they look silverish, yes, sir.
Metallic.
Yes, sir.
I gotta go back to my.
You gotta go to the top. Now, from all of the exhibits that we saw, Rainbow Cleaner, Rebel Drive, CD Web, Rockets, and the Molly Bar Trails, was it the same make and model of Jay Lee's car?
It appears to be.
Okay. Was it consistent with the chrome trim around the windows?
Yes, sir, it appears so.
Was it consistent with the same type of rims?
Yes, sir.
Right, that's it. Just leave it right there.
I'm just gonna pull back. There's the,
No, that's not it.
no, that's not even the truck with the trailer. I pulled back, so you have to look. I went back too far. So that.
Now, within that relevant time from beginning with 718 at Rainbow Cleaners to Molly Bar Trails at 725, did you see any other cars of similar make and model and going in that same direction? As
That's how they still cross. I never had to make model cars.
the description of cars, clearly.
The issue of the identification that this car has been delved into greatly on false accommodation. I'll let the state question in that area.
Each of those exhibits, Rainbow Cleaners, all the way through up to Molly Bar Trails, that you testified those cars were 2014 Ford Fusion. Identified it as Jay Lee's vehicle, correct? Correct. Did you see any other cars similar to a 2014 Ford Fusion of the same color and style within that relevant time frame?
I don't remember seeing any. No, sir.
Are we projecting exhibit 14? Your Honor, are we projecting exhibit 14?
You are. Exhibit 14 is Rainbow Cleaners, you are.
Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
All right, again, we're looking at that white mailbox that you used as a landmark to orient yourself on cross-examination.
Yes,
You
sir.
can see the white truck and the trailer, and then the Jay Lee's car. All right. Play that. Can you tell that we've zoomed in?
Yes, sir.
Just playing from the beginning of 718.
All right, we're at the 2830 mark. We're going to 2855.
I'm like, I don't want to.
Are you going to stop it?
Yeah.
Okay.
2055, you want me to stop it? What if you don't?
All right, looking at the rear of that vehicle that passed in front of Rainbow Cleaners at the 2853 mark, does it appear, I mean, tell me if you know or you know. Can you compare that image to the photo in Exhibit S13 and see if there's anything other than make model, other than the chrome around the windows, other than the wheels that were distinctive?
Looks like the tail lights can be similar.
Anything else?
I can't see it.
Let me ask you this. On that photo from the exhibit from bandit towing showing the rear of the vehicle, there's a sticker on the back. And I don't know if you can or can't, but does it appear that you can see that in that image? Or is it too grainy?
Not for my eyes.
Okay. Now, you said earlier that you did blow it up before. Is that what you were referencing?
Back that way, I was referencing the window trim. When the vehicle first comes into the picture.
I guess my question is, when you were investigating, you said that you blew this image up.
Yes, sir.
Observed the vehicle closely. Did you make any observations then about that vehicle? Did it again.
One of these videos, we were able to see what appeared to be the dog bone.
And the videos would speak for themselves on that.
Yes, sir.
Course of judges. Your Honor, if you could leave me on this question, but I've heard the questions.
All right. Step down to this stand. Argument reserved the right to recall you. So you get no discussion testimony with the other team.
Yes.
Is he free to leave the premises and y'all just call him today, or that's you can go back, be available to call you back, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we go, sir? Sure. I'm getting used.
Ben Douglas is going to take a long time, I anticipate.
Long time. What's the hardest? Where we stand on lunch anyway? Anybody know? I don't know. We got anything we can? Is that witness?
I think he's coming over right now.
I'm gonna let y'all step back to here for just 1 minute. We're gonna get started on this anyway.
Judge, you should. The lunch just appeared.
Never mind. Lunch just showed up anyway. Recess until 12:40. But the media stick around. Go. Being Kevin.
All right, y'all. So we're gonna start right here. We're at 3.5 hours. This is where they go to lunch, which is today, remember, and then they come back, and it's only a few minutes into the testimony after lunch. So we're gonna start with hold on, let me write this down. Hold on. We're gonna start with the rest of today's testimony tomorrow, because I'm kind of staying a little bit behind on purpose, because I don't want to play it in real time at the time that they're, I don't want it to be in sync, if that makes sense, just for copyright reasons. Okay. Anywho, yeah. So we're gonna start tomorrow, where they come back from lunch, and then we're gonna go into tomorrow's testimony. Okay. All right. D-Truth, you want to say anything before we go? If you're still here, let me see. You might be gone.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here. Well, you're giving people a glimpse of what court is really like.
Right.
Court is long and tedious,
Mm-hmm.
and they repeat things over and over and over again to get the jury to see their picture.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The defense is trying to say that could be any black car.
Any black car, anybody driving it.
Can you see
All
any
of that.
distinctive things? But again, if you looked at all the black fusions
Mm-hmm.
in
Well, I
Mississippi,
think his is this thing because I haven't seen, look, I don't claim to see a whole lot of fusions, but I haven't seen them with that stripe on the top a lot.
he put that stripe on there.
Had to because
That's
I
what I'm.
have yet to
Yeah.
see one with that.
No,
That's what I didn't know.
Ford is not putting a racing stripe on a fusion.
Right.
Okay? So
Right.
That's the thing. Now, if they had the time, they could have went back and said there is 4,527 fusions in the state of Mississippi, and only one has a racing stripe down the middle. Now, the
Right.
defense knows that they could do that. The defense
Oh.
knows that they could do that. So the defense is trying to say, well, you can't really see anything in these videos.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course they muddied the water with the whole, him leaving the complex on foot. Well, did you see other cars leave after supposedly Jimmy Lee's car went in there?
Right.
So any one of those people that left and came back could be the killer.
Mm-hmm.
So he's muddying the waters. And now if the defense, I would have said, well, we looked up how many Ford Fusions there were in the state of Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
Out of 4,527, there was 800 that were black. None of the 800 have a racing stripe on it. So let's see where the 800 reside. Now we're down to 200 and something reside within this particular area.
Mm-hmm.
How many black fusions are park in that parking lot of that complex? 0. Well, then they got to go through it, but it's not about facts. It's about trying to get the jury to understand that this car is very distinctive.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that we can narrow down black fusions within the area, there's no black fusions that people drive in that particular parking lot. And then later on, they're going to cross-examine the police body cam footage that places him in that area. Matter of fact, places him in the car that they see him getting into. Now I'm getting ahead a little bit.
Him is who?
The suspect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So all of this is laying the groundwork, and they don't want to let the cat out of the bag because he's objecting to all these things. So if he can object to him and get him out of the evidence, then they'll have nothing to substantiate him getting in that white car. So if they can remove all of that and say none of that happened, it's inadmissible, none of that happened, and he gets caught in that white car, there's no way to attach him to any of it because they removed all the other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? So, and again, it's a lot of this is common sense. And we're not talking about there's 12 lawyers on that panel. These are human beings that are going to use common sense to decipher exactly what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And they know what is the relevance here. And what do you say? What is the average that black car drives into that complex? And they showed that black car coming from the suspect's housing place to that place, and not placing him behind the wheel. It's common sense. But again, he's muddying the water, trying to get things removed so that they can't put the pieces together.
Right. All right, y'all. Well, like I say, thank you, D. True. We'll come back tomorrow and resume the testimony that's taking place right now, and then we'll get into tomorrow's testimony. All right. With that being said, we're gonna get off of here. Thank y'all so much again for supporting this live stream. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the monetary contributions. I appreciate it. Thank you, D. Truth. I appreciate you. I do. Thank you, Trey. But anywho, we're gonna get out of here for today. I want these lives to be between 3 and 3. Well, actually 3 and 4 hours, but I don't want to be too long. But anywho, I'll see y'all later on today. Y'all have a blessed, beautiful day at work. Hopefully, I'll come back on before y'all get out. I don't know. I'll see. But anywho, until tomorrow on this channel, y'all, I'll see y'all later. All right. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you. Love y'all.